I mean, each one of these has a story. Some are, I know less than others, but they're, they're amazing people. There's a pressure. You feel like, these guys are waiting for me, and I don't know if they feel the pressure, like, if it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks, maybe it's not a big deal for them, but for me, I feel like I need to get them done. And it's like seeing someone that's been on the front lines in a really drastic situation, and you're just like, oh wow, that person really has that caring gene, and you can see it. And I was painting like pictures of family members and whatever, and I was looking for something that was going to just grab me, and those grab you and you just can't let go. What are you going to do, watch TV because you're all quarantined, you can't do anything anyway? So painting was my release and my keeping sane. So I had 30 here, but I had done at the time 70. I've done additional 30. I have almost 100. I'm 98 right now. When we had the show set up, I didn't have any pictures. They asked me if I could do a show, but I only had like 3 originals because I keep sending people out the pictures after they're done, and I didn't have anything to show. So I told Tony, the director, he's like, well, how many do you need to have a show? Because there's like 2 weeks before he wanted to have a show. So we need about 20, 25. And I'm like, I have 4. And they're small, they're not big. And so he said, well, if you can come up with 20, then we'll do a show. So I said, okay, I'll see what I can do. And started asking people I was usually sending them out to, can I just hold on to these till after the show? And they're like, yeah, sure, that's great. And so I got, I put a feeler out to especially locals, and Albany Med is a supporter of this. So I got Albany Med to send me 8 from Saratoga and that area. I got another 4, but I ended up doing 30 in 2 weeks, which is enough for the show. Then I started getting a lot from different hotspots. So I got a bunch from Italy when Italy was the hotspot.
How did someone find you from Italy? How did that happen?
On nurses _COVID, or COVID _nurses on Instagram. Mm-hmm. That's where I had gotten the original Time magazine one from. And I posted them on there, and then that's when they started coming in. So, and I speak Italian, so I was able to communicate back and forth with them, and that was pretty exciting. So there's a lot from Naples and Bologna, and some from, like this Gabri's from Bologna, and then from Spain, and then from the UK.
Oh, it was following
and
that?
Then New York City, I got a lot from New York City. And then Chicago, and then from all over the place, they're from all over. So when Tony was talking about putting this show up, I was concerned about having to frame all of these, because I'm going to be giving them away as soon as the show's done. So, I didn't want to buy 30 frames and then give them away. But Tony had this amazing idea, putting them on clipboards, kind of like the medical professionals do, and it's an amazing idea.
The installation and the curation part of it, just with talking with Steve, the first idea was to use the full gallery space and space out the portraits actually 6 feet apart, to actually connect it as social distancing and having the portraits actually be that far apart from each other. Then once we realized that a lot of the works that he created, he actually gifted to the doctors and nurses, we realized we wouldn't have enough to fill the entire space. So then he actually started to create more pieces, and I think we ended up getting around 30 pieces inside of this installation. And then just kind of having them actually come closer together. And I think during this time, obviously people are apart, but having these portraits be actually not socially distanced and allows the viewer to actually get really close to them, especially coming back off of phase 1 or phase 2, not a lot of people having human face-to-face interaction, so it gave people a chance to get eye-to-eye with the portraits that are on display. And then for the clipboards, it was just, I guess, creative problem solving and seeing how we could make the work look presentable, but also connected to the healthcare environment. And then when doctors and nurses go into spaces, usually they pull the clipboard and do their notes. So really trying to connect it to an environment that these individuals work at.
It's one of those times where they're really emotional. You know, it's one of those like, this is a time in my life I can remember. You don't want to just, oh, it's going to be quick. I'll just, you know, make a little sketch for them and send it off. So you want to try to put in that like extra, you know, squint that they have in their eye, or that kind of smile that you can't see because their mask is on, but you can see because their cheeks are up a little bit, you know, like this. That's the stuff that you try to be accurate to. And just the different skin tones with, you know, the different modulations in the colors and stuff like that is, it's important to try to be as accurate, at least for me, it's important to be accurate to who that person is and not make it look idealized or fake. Because it's, you know, people know what people look like, especially yourself. You see a picture of yourself, you're going to know, oh, that's not, my eyes don't look like that, you know, that my nose isn't that big. But if it's off just a little bit, you notice.